Blind Item from Crazy Days and Nights said that Meghan apparently was prepared and has a podcast episode all about what the death of the Queen means. If this is true, she should be ostracized by every single sane person on the planet. She's going to make it all about her. It would really be the final straw, the ultimate social climber movement, if she attempts to make money via a podcast or a daughter's name since she bought the domain for future merching opportunities off of these sad circumstances. There are certainly dozens of other family members more qualified to speak on the topic and who actually spent time with the Queen. Megs, the self-proclaimed champion of women, has never acknowledged that the Queen was the original woman in a man's world and had to do it all in the 1940s, 50s, 60s and 70s when things were unimaginably more difficult for women than they are now. She must be salivating over a potential new chapter in Harry's book all about saying goodbye to the Queen. It's so upsetting thinking about how the Sussexes behaved in the past 2 years, then to just spend quality time with the family. The last trip during the Jubilee, they were still throwing tantrums about being sidelined, not being able to have a photograph of Lilibet with Her Majesty, and consequently leaving early. The last time Meghan would be pictured publicly with the late Queen was at Westminster Abbey for the Commonwealth Day back in March 2020, when the Duchess fulfilled her final royal engagement with relations between the Cambridges and the Sussexes clearly strained. On that day, the Sussexes were not part of the Queen's procession through Westminster Abbey at the start of the Commonwealth Service, as they made their final official appearance as senior royals. When Prince Harry and Meghan revealed on Instagram they were quitting royal duties to live in America, it was a crisis that required the Queen to be both. At a hastily convened summit at Sandringham in January 2020, her decision was swift and final. The Sussexes can leave the family business, but not have the trappings that come with being royal. The want-away couple were told there was no half-in, half-out role, and that they could not have their cake and eat it as they wished. Good luck in their new life. In her statement, the Queen thanked them for their dedicated work, saying she was particularly proud of Meghan. She added, "It's my whole family's hope that today's agreement allows them to start building a happy and peaceful new life." This new beginning was anything but peaceful for the Queen, because although the couple had quit royal service, they remained in the family. As one palace insider put it, they might no longer be working members of the royal family, but they're not in exile. Leaving royal life and service to the crown and state was never a consideration or choice for the Queen. She was catapulted into succession when her uncle, Edward VIII, quit royal service to marry divorcee Wallis Simpson in 1936. Seeing the impact on her father scarred the Queen's early years, but she rose to dedicate herself to a life of service. So in her mid-90s, forced to isolate in Windsor Castle as COVID-19 raged, the Queen was asked to step up and deal with this cross-Atlantic family crisis again and again and again. Faced with overwhelming public sympathy coming after the shock and horror of the first Oprah interview and grieving the loss of her husband, she stayed silent. Just a few years earlier, the Queen had welcomed divorcee Meghan into the fold and issued an instrument of consent for their May 2018 wedding, saying she was delighted for the couple.